Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Brandon. Brandon is from Rhode Island in the USA. So let's see what Brandon has to say. Enjoy the interview. Hello Brandon, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Very well. Thanks so much for taking the time today for the interview. Thank you.
Oh yeah, no problem. Thanks for interviewing me. Sorry, like cat in the background.
Oh, I love your cat behind. Who's that?
Let's Lynx.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. She'll probably be harassing me throughout the interview.
How old is she?
She's 16. She's an old lady.
16. Oh, wow.
She's
And
still
tell
very
me,
active
how did,
though.
yeah? How did she come into your life?
Oh, we just got me and my ex got a kitten one day, and I held on to her.
Amazing, beautiful. So tell me, Brando, how's your day going so far?
Not too bad. Hung out with some friends last night. Drank a little too much last night, but having a good day. The weather here is great right now. It's nice and warm outside.
Amazing.
How about you?
Very good. Yeah, it's been a great day in London as well. It's a beautiful day in London. I think the summer is literally knocking the door. I want to get in. I want to get it. Do you have like a usual routine that you do every weekend, or you just go with the flow?
I just go with the flow. So like I work at a bar, so every now and then I'll work like a Friday or Saturday night. It kind of alternates. So kind of depends like what my work schedule looks like. And then I try to write as much as I can too. So usually like some days I'll write or just relax.
I see. So tell me a little bit about your job. So you just work like in one bar or different bars? How does work your schedule?
Oh, I just work in one bar occasionally. My main job is I'm a nurse, so I do this per diem job where we go into companies and help them with like their blood work and like doing vaccines and stuff. But it's fun.
Oh, I see. So your full time is a nurse, and sometimes you do a part-time job as well in the bar.
Yeah, yeah.
I see. Amazing. And tell me where you're from, Brandon.
I'm in Providence, Rhode Island.
Right. So tell me something interesting about your town, your city.
Well, it used to be a lot cooler. It's getting gentrified pretty hard, but Providence used to be kind of a hub for just um, like a lot of like just indie artists. And, we were kind of known for like noise rock. Noise rock is like what put Providence on the map
I
back in
see.
bands like bands like Lightning Bolt and Six Finger Satellite and Airborne Radar kind of like created like the kind of like where our hallmark bands from here, I guess, like had captured our sound. But as years have gone on, it's kind of changed a lot. It's become kind of unaffordable. So a lot of the artists that were doing all the cool stuff kind of had to take off. So we're just kind of becoming like mixed city USA. Like I don't know, they're homogenizing like all our cool cities into like the same thing. It kind of sucks.
I see. And that's the place where you're born and raised?
No, it's actually so I was born in Connecticut and then I moved to Vermont when I was two. So I grew up in Vermont for the most part. From like 2 to 18, I was in northern Vermont.
I see. And all your family are back in Connecticut, or they live as well in Rhode Island?
Oh yes, yeah, so, well, my family was all back in Connecticut.
I see. Amazing. Okay, Brandon, so let's start the interview talk a little bit as well about when I was checking your profile, it says there that you're an actor as well. Yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
So tell me a little bit about your journey, how everything started.
Sure, sure. I'm not really sure how it all started. I guess um I was a pretty imaginative kid. I think like growing up gay, in a pretty conservative family, like I had to kind of make friends with my imagination and just kind of um I had to find like escapism somewhere, and I think I found it in folklore and mythology and nature. Like I used to read a lot of nature books and mythology books and folklore. I've done some mystery books, so like all that kind of stuff. And I think that's kind of like where my creative energy kind of sparked from. Just all these like really awesome inventive stories about like monsters and magic. And then as years went on, just kind of started diving into that and getting really into music too. So got really into
Hmm.
like punk and metal and stuff, and kind of found a home in there as well. But as the years went on, played in some bands, and then started doing some writing, and then
Oh,
yeah. So now I'm here where we just make movies now, and I write books, but it's all kind of comes from the same place.
totally understand. I think when you are an artist, you can go different directions, you can explore different directions as well. That's what's the beauty of it.
Yeah, yeah, it's fun.
Amazing. Brandon, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and share your point of views?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Amazing. Welcome to William in the Magic Box. So I have here my best friend. Full of random questions. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to play a song just first to relax before the first question. Okay?
Okay.
Let's do it. Right, so before we start the game, during the journey, if it comes up a question that you don't want to answer, don't want to talk about, always can change, okay?
Sure, sure.
Amazing. Right, first question is, describe yourself in one positive and one negative word only.
Oh man, one positive word. I'd say benevolent. I'm like a pretty nice person. I have a lot of empathy, which gets me into trouble. Right? I guess like that benevolent is the word. Negative would be the same word too. I think sometimes I get myself into trouble for caring too much and get myself to weird situations by being too nice and having too much empathy.
And you've always been this way?
Yeah, yeah, it kind of came from I think just my love of animals. Like I love animals a lot. I'm a huge animal rights person. I grew up near farms, so I grew up near a lot of cows and horses and pigs, and just kind of observing
Wow,
animals and getting to like really understand them. Kind of made me like really empathetic. I quit eating meat at a really young age too, but I think that kind of transferred into like how I treat other people too. Like I've always been kind of an outsider, so I was often like befriend outsiders and like stick up for them. Like in like grade school and high school, like our friends like protect like the nerdy kids are getting bullied and stuff. So it just kind of, but I was kind of attribute that just like my love of animals too, and just like how I feel like they're misunderstood too and outcast in a weird way. Um,
good. So tell me, so far, what has been the most meaningful lesson you've learned from the animals?
that I think sometimes just like just being yourself and following your own nature. I think if everyone
Mhm.
did that, it would guide you to happiness. I think we
Totally,
kind of force ourselves to do all these things that we don't want to do, and then we make ourselves angry and stuff gets bottled up, and we become people that we become what we're not supposed to be. Like we're not following our own like our own innate urges. I think it sucks because you're seeing this all over the place now too. Everyone
totally.
needs to be themselves, listen to your nature and your heart, and that's how the animals are. So
Totally. I think that we learn a lot with them. I think there's always something, they feel the energy, they feel, even when sometimes you're not feeling our best, they are by our sides. Yeah, it's always a surprise with the animals in a good way, for sure.
yeah, no, for sure, I agree.
Amazing. Next question. Let's do it. Yes, you can always dance with me.
The worst answer ever.
Next question is, if you could live anywhere in the world, where that would be and why?
If I go anywhere in the world,
If you could live anywhere in the world, where that would be and why?
there's so many answers I have for that question, but I'd say like um I've never been to Scotland, but like I really want to go. I just every time I see photos of it, it just looks gorgeous. I love the castles. I love how like gray and rainy it is all the time. It just looks beautiful. That's what I live in one of those castles with like 800 cats. um,
Wow.
I'd love to maybe live somewhere tropical too. Like I'd love to explore some like some weird bugs and plants I've never seen before, like in any kind of rainforest. I'd kind of have fun in, I guess.
Let's see. Tell me something about the state of no, Rhode Island. Yeah, fun enough, Brandon. I've been doing the interviews for the last few years, and most of my guests on the show they are from the US. Yeah, so and it's funny because the Magic Box has been traveling all the states of the US,
That's
and
awesome.
yeah, and you are my second guest for Rhode Island actually. And the first time, my first guest I had on the show, I was like, oh my God, I was so excited about it because I love when somehow I connected someone different parts of the world. My
Yeah.
question for you is, tell me something interesting about Rhode Island, something about the states that, in your opinion, stands out compared with other places in the US.
So New England is like the oldest part of the country technically. Well, when it was colonialized, but like so we have a really deep history here in New England. But I think one thing about Rhode Island that's kind of cool is it has kind of like a weird like haunted history. There's a lot of really interesting folklore and legend here. H.P. Lovecraft's from here. Edgar Allan Poe lived here briefly. So it does have a kind of cool little horror history. We have vampires. We have all kinds of weird creatures from centuries ago, like that lived in folklore and to the present. The state size is kind of fun too. It's like a very small state, but there's so much variance in like terrain. Like we're right against the ocean, but there's also like a lot of really cool forests to hike in. A lot of cool like little wildlife reserves and areas. Um, so it's yeah, I guess it's a really cool state. Um, the art scene here is like I was saying earlier has always been cool. It's like we're just steeped in like a lot of like really deep artistic history too, especially like I
Mhm.
said, like the noise rock and like a lot of just like really awesome people just like kind of created this really neat scene in Providence. Yeah, so it's a cool little spot. It's weird.
And why why did you decide to live there? There was something connected with your job, or was just an opportunity?
So when I was living in northern Vermont, I was in a band up there, and the type of music that we were playing and that we wanted to see just kind of like wasn't up there anymore. Burlington got really expensive, so all the artists kind of vacated. So like we're just trying to find a new place to live that was close to Vermont. So like I didn't even know Providence really existed. So we were all our brains were set on Boston. Then we saw how expensive Boston was. Was like, oh man, no way. Then our friend was like, check out Providence, Rhode Island, and we came down here a few times and just fell in love with it and immediately. Just the rent was cheap. There's so much happening in the art and music scene. Like there's so much cool stuff. That was back in 2003, so that's kind of what drew us here.
I see. Amazing. Next question. Let's do it. Before the next question, tell me a little bit about your career as a nurse. So tell me how everything started.
So I was doing social work for a very long time. I loved it. I hit this point in my life where like I wanted to like have a job that felt meaningful to help people.
Mm-hmm.
So social workers, of course, make no money, which is an actual crime. It's one of the hardest jobs ever. You're kind of seeing like the darkest parts of humanity, and you take a lot of that home with you. I wish in the social work field they feel they'd be paid what athletes get paid. I'm sorry, it's just how it is. So then like I realized that I could be a nurse and do the same job in like the mental health field, which is kind of like social work adjacent. So went through nursing school, graduated, and you get paid more as a mental health nurse, but it's not like what people think it is. Like it's okay money. I think like 10 years ago it was really good money, but like as times are changing and as like hospitals are getting monopolized by these bigger corporations, they're kind of like squeezing you for all your worth, and the money's just not cool. So I'm kind of almost back in the same position, like of how do I make money in this field and be able to like make a living. And when I say make money, I mean just be able to pay my bills and be happy. I don't need to like I don't need fancy cars or like whatever, but yeah, that's kind of what got me into nursing. The job I have now isn't mental health nursing anymore. I'm doing more like doing vaccines and like some like blood work related kind of stuff for these like larger companies. But it's still fun. It's still fun to like educate people on health and like make people like help them be happy and healthy, and it's nice.
Amazing. Very good. Next question is, tough question now. What has been the lowest point of your life?
Yeah, lowest point of my life. I think when I got kind of busted for being gay. Family's not they're very conservative, and it was a really rough point in my life. Yeah, it was kind of it was dark, it was bad, but I think that was it. But as you get older, you kind of realize like you just got to you that you can't control being gay. It's just you're born with it. No one would choose this, trust me. So that was pretty brutal. But now me and my family get along really well. Like we're back on track and things are going well. But it took some time. But it was pretty hard. Not an easy thing.
And the day when you came out, did something happen, or you just felt like, okay, let's just be my truly self and open up about it, if you can share?
I got busted.
Really?
Yeah, I got busted. I didn't come out. This guy I was seeing, but my parents caught wind of it somehow. And yeah, I don't know if the weird thing is I don't know. I mean, I naturally would have come out at some point, I think, but it's just kind of it's funny thinking about it back in time, like when I would have and how I would have, like that's not how it went down. So it's kind of interesting.
I see. And the opposites of the question, what has been the happiest point of your life so far?
Happiest point? Honestly, I think like I'm at my happiest point in a weird way. So like my boyfriend Ryan I have now, I've been with him for like 14 years, and he's like the best thing in my life, and like it's just been great. I got injured on my last job, and I was forced to take a year and a half off. I'm someone that I've had jobs that have been 14 years old. I've been like in school and working nonstop like my entire life. So when I got injured, I had to take time off, and I think having all that time off, like my mental health came back. I was able to like focus on writing and creativity again. And I haven't felt like that in like so long, which is why I'm really hoping like in this world we can come up with some like universal basic income for people so we can work less and explore what we want to explore as people, like what makes us happy. Because we don't, I'm sorry, like 40 hours a week at a job, you don't get to do that. It's literally slavery. Well, a CEO is making $1 million and you're doing all this grunt work and losing yourself. Like time keeps going by, and all of a sudden you're 40 and you're like, what do I have to show for any of this? So I think like just being able to, I still work a lot, but not as much as I used to, but just having that free time back is just so crucial. And I really wish there was a way that everyone can finagle that into their lives. You can get more free time and more time to explore yourself. So I think like right now I'm probably at my happiest point. It took a long time.
Tell me something. How did your path cross with your boyfriend, if you can share?
Yeah, for sure. It's kind of a funny story. So when I was in nursing school, I was working multiple jobs. I worked at a vegan bakery. I worked at a gay strip club. I worked at a bar. I had this other kind of like health job. So like Ryan would come into the bakery I worked at all the time, and I couldn't tell if he was like checking me out or whatever. So I thought he was a straight dude. And she's like, "Oh, you should put up a misconnection on Craigslist," and I did. And it was a really half-assed one. What I wrote was so stupid, and then he actually found it and saw it, and I wish I had the balls to just be like, "Hey, dude, are you gay?" But like, you never know with people; it might get your ass kicked. So
Yeah.
he ended up responding, and then that's how we met.
Oh my God, sweet. Ok- Okay, so your boyfriend is watching this interview right now. When you have a moment, an opportunity to send him a message, what would you say?
Just thank you for putting up with me.
Oh, see. And he's from Connecticut as well or not?
He's actually from Oklahoma.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Okay, next question. Let's do it. Okay, next question is, if you could go back in time in one moment or memory in your life for any reason, what that would be and why?
Wow, that's such a good question. I think weirdly enough, Halloween as a kid was always just so magical. Like I wish there was a drug I could take that makes you feel like a kid on Halloween when you're like 7. It's like the best feeling. I miss that like that magic and imagination that happens. So like I think that those nights are just so special. I think just my love of horror also kind of plays into that too. But like man, like it's just being a kid with on Halloween was like the best. Like especially in New England too. Like just fall here is just you're in England, so I'm sure you guys probably get similar kind of like seasonal changes and stuff. But
Yeah,
fall and like Halloween, just like how the air smells, just everything about it. Like I remember how those like weird like Halloween masks smelled and like the face paint smelled. All that stuff is just like so nostalgic. But yeah, it was like the one night of the year where like you didn't have to be a human, which is cool. I mean, you don't have to be a human anytime you want, but like that was just like this weird like you just enter this world and it just that feeling is just so magic. And I wish as adults we could still kind of get back there somehow, but it's kind of tough.
and you have brother and sister as well?
I do, yeah. I have a younger brother and I have a stepsister that's a year older than me. And they're great. I love both of them a lot.
Oh, sweet. Tell me something, Brandon. When you think about yourself, when you analyze yourself, what's the biggest joy of being you? What do you like the most about being Brandon?
I guess like one thing about being gay and hitting like a deep dark depression, like got busted and stuff, was like you kind of just like in a weird way become kind of a little nihilistic and you kind of just don't care what anyone thinks about you anymore. So when I realized like other people's opinions didn't matter, it was actually at a very young age. I just didn't give and like I kind of wish other people can get there. It's like once you can like escape that, like I think like that's one thing I love about myself is I get people to that point too. I'm like you can't care what other people think. Like you're just so much happier
Totally.
navigating through life without giving it. It's so nice. Like and I think like in like I said, European American culture too, we're so caught up in like what other people think. Like all these social media apps, like the likes, the validation, it's all fake, it's all intangible, it's not real. But like our brains are so set on this, like we need this validation to feel happy, and it's all a lie. Like what makes you happy is being yourself. Like we talked about, like animals in nature and like them just listening to their hearts and moving forward. You have to do that as a human being too. If you can forego all the outside like opinions and crap, like you're just gonna be so much happier. And I hated myself a lot, but I give myself a lot of credit for kind of doing that at a young age. I'm so happy I was able to do that. And I wish more people could do that at a younger age because it's just such a crucial life lesson. If anyone's listening, like just stop caring what other people think.
Absolutely. And I totally agree with you. I think, social media, it sells perfection, which does exist. And sometimes, get trapped to it. And, sometimes you can just put your mind there. And it's something that sometimes you cannot avoid. Just one point, you go like, my God, wait a minute, let me
Yeah,
separate things here. Do you know what I mean? Do you
yeah.
believe that happiness is a choice?
What's that?
Do you believe that happiness is a choice?
Um, yeah, actually, yes, I think so. I think like, especially like right now, like in Europe and in America too, like we're seeing this like huge divide with political parties. And I know like people will be like, oh, the left gets extreme, but like I feel like when people on the left wake up in the morning, they're not thinking about like minorities and queer people. They're thinking about like universal health care. They're thinking about like how can I make my neighbors happier and better. So I think like you have this other side of things where like the media is just on the right has made everyone so crazy. They're like we have ICE. We have like ICE here. We have people like that aren't actually a part of ICE that are like arresting their own neighbors, like this weird citizens arrest shit. I don't know how you wake up in the morning and like the first thing on your mind is like, I'm gonna go arrest one of my neighbors down the street that may or not be an illegal immigrant. I don't even care if they are illegal. I love it. I would deport more Americans and take in more immigrants the way things are going right now. But I think like these people are not happy. They're miserable. You have to have something miserable in your mind to have this go on. And for a while, I thought like it's not really a choice. Like maybe there's like all these things in your life that got you there. When you get into like your 30s, you do have a little bit of autonomy and say and like how you run your day and like what you do. So if your first thought in the morning is black people or gay people and like I don't like them and like your day is spent just finding hate, that's so crazy to me and you're choosing that. And so that means you're miserable and you deserve your misery. And I hope like all the people that you're affecting negatively, I hope they're happy and I hope they're able to like live a good life without your like your social negativity just ruining everything. It's crazy. But yeah, I do think it's a choice. Like when I wake up in the morning, I'm thinking about my friends. I hope my friends are happy. I hope my family's happy. I hope my cat is happy. Like I don't know. There's just no room for this stuff. Like you can choose happiness and find it. It's very plausible.
And being gay in Rhode Island, do you think it's a place where you can be your truly self in your city as well, or not? It can be a bit tricky sometimes.
Yeah, so like I'm very fortunate. I do believe a lot of like the coastal cities are definitely more like liberal and left leaning. With that said, I mean, you do have we're starting to see an uprising in like white nationalism and this kind of stuff. And like cities are definitely we're still safe here, but like I do fear sometimes for my friends that are walking home from the bars late at night, especially like my trans friends, my drag queen friends, like like people have lost their minds and they're targeting people for no reason. We haven't seen so much of that stuff here yet, but like there are like whispers of it, and it's kind of scary. And it's but I will say that there's other parts of the country that are way worse. But yeah, coastal cities, Rhode Island especially. Rhode Island's like very very safe. We're fortunate to have that here. There's a lot of places where like I can't hold Ryan's hand in public. So if I guess that's a good precursor. Like if you can hold your partner's hand in public, you're in the city, you're probably okay. Parts of this country, I would not do that.
Amazing. 3 questions left. Let's do it. Okay, before the next question, as you're an actor, so tell me, okay, let's play a game now. Let's pretend that you have the biggest budgets in your hands and you can pay like any artist to put like a scene together or a play, and you can choose anyone to be your mom, any actor to be your dad, any other to play your romantic partner, and also you can pay any director in the world in Hollywood to help you to put all together. So tell me those names.
Sure. So I'd have Clive Barker be the director. Like I'd have him make the movie. Clive Barker is like my idol. I love him so much. So my parents, who are my parents? That's a really really good question. I'm a big like a big Kathy Bates fan. I think I love watching her and stuff. She's so fun. I'd have her be the mom. Who's my dad? So my romantic partner, I'd just pick Tom Hardy just because he's hot as fuck.
Ooh,
Love Tom
good
Hardy.
choice.
I'd make sure there's plenty of sex scenes in the movie. Who's my dad? That's yeah.
The Gladiator.
Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe. I think he kind of had something that would be a good partner for you.
I wouldn't mind Russell Crowe being my dad.
Okay, next question is, if you could make up a new school subject, what that would be and why?
Oh my God, that's a fantastic question. I think my school subject would be a class just based on empathy, and I think I want everyone to have to work in a service job for 2 weeks, in retail for 2 weeks, and in social work for 2 weeks, and so just people can understand like how hard it is on these people. I just think it's such a crucial lesson. Like, cause I've done all these jobs. I've worked any job you name it, and I've just seen how people talk about these kind of jobs. I see how people get treated at these jobs, and I think this
Well,
is something you need to learn early on in school. That like, there's no such thing as like a stepping stone job. Your 8 hours of your time is 8 hours of your time, and no matter what the hell it is. I don't care if you're making burgers. I don't care like what you're doing. Like that is someone's 8 hours, and they need to get paid and respected for doing it. The fact that like they're taking care of you as a customer, as a patient, whatever you're doing, like they don't have to. They're just doing it so that's how they make a living. I think I wish there was a school course that would like force people into these industries to understand like where these workers are coming from. Because man, I've done it all, and people are pretty terrible. Don't get me wrong, there's lots of nice people too, but I just think like I just watch people how they are, like how they talk to like this clerks at grocery stores and how they talk to like just any service industry too. And I think it's a lesson you have to learn by being in the field and doing it. But I think like in high school, get these kids out there in the world and like to understand how this goes.
Totally agree with you. I think it would be very important for people to understand more about other people's job. I think social
Yeah,
work, my aunt as well, back in Brazil, she works as a social worker, and she's the kind of person that she was literally going house by house, checking people, families, checking how the kids are doing. You know what I mean? It's a really hard work. And I always
yeah,
told her, you should be a politician because, for you to kind of be involved because you are doing a job as a politician, because you're literally checking people, you're checking how people are doing, you know what I mean, with their lives. And I think it's a really, really good point. I agree with you.
that's a good point. 'Cause I feel like that kind of work too. It's like I would trust and vote for someone that has that kind of background. Because like most
Totally,
politicians, their background isn't that. Like they never worked with people. Like they're usually kind of corrupt and crazy, like our mayor. But
totally.
like yeah, if a politician was like, I'm an ex social worker, they'd have my vote in 2 seconds because I already know like what their platform is going to be.
Absolutely. And I think, sometimes, you know, the information, but when you are living it, it's a different story because you feel it, you know how it works for sure.
Yeah, no, it's so true.
Totally. Did you like school growing up?
No, I I liked it for the wrong reasons. Like I made schoolwork for me. I like I was obsessed with reading and books and stuff. So like during classes, I'd just be reading constantly, and like I loved the library. I was obsessed. I read the same like 20 books over and over again, like all these nature
Oh,
books and like mythology books. But at school, like I kind of like was in my own little world and just like would just read during class, like other teachers are teaching. So I just kind of like made it work for me. I was pretty social. Like I got voted for most friendly in high school. Like I didn't mind the people. Like it was fine. I just like felt like I was being forced to learn a lot of stuff that I just didn't care about, and it was kind of just kind of sucked. So yeah, I got bored easy too. But like, yeah, you have to kind of make it work for you because you have no choice. You're stuck in there, unfortunately.
did you have like a favorite teacher or not?
Yeah, I did. So I hate history. History is like it's just a boring subject for me. And I think when you get in high school, especially in America, is not real history. So my U.S. history teacher and me, I like she knew I just didn't give a shit. But I like I loved her so much. So she was awesome. Like we had a really like close relationship. But yeah, like I didn't learn much, but like but she was awesome. We had understanding. But there's just so much respect I had for her too. And like after class, like we would talk politics and talk about real U.S. history, and she didn't hold back. So it was cool to like kind of. I think a lot of history teachers are probably like that. I think a lot of them don't believe the shit that they're peddling to us.
Okay.
But man, I loved her. She was awesome. Her name was Mrs. Taft. She was great.
Oh, wow, you remember her name still. Amazing.
Oh, cool.
Oh, amazing. Two questions left. Let's do it. Okay, before the next question, of course, when I was checking your profile, there was a phrase there. It says, be nice to animals, which you already mentioned, and I understand your point. And the other part was, and support indie artists. Yeah? So tell me a little bit about it. Why is that?
So I think like as the decades have gone on, I think the mainstream has pulled from the underground at all times, and it makes sense. Like art like imitates other artists, and I think now with just how corporatized everything is, and it's like if you're not a nepo baby or have connections, like your art is never gonna get seen. And I think right now, like everything is just so hyper monetized. That's like what we're seeing in streaming services, like is what's popular with the people. And I think we're making this very vapid, shallow, just kind of like garbage content. And I think like people forget there's a whole underground world of like amazing art in all mediums that just doesn't get seen. And I kind of want to I would challenge everybody to kind of start digging around a little bit and just shut off the streaming services. Don't get me wrong, there's some fun stuff in the streaming services. I love
Good.
Nathan Fielder. New season of The Rehearsal is excellent, but there's just and I'm guilty of it too because sometimes like there's all these film festivals that go on all the time and they're just loaded with all these like indie films and like I always forget like I need to like get more involved in seeing these films and seeking them out. But the problem is too, it's also really hard to get a hold of these films, hard to find them. There's not really streaming services that provide you with underground stuff. Like you can hunt around on Tubi for sure. Amazon's been making it very difficult for indie artists to get their stuff on there, and like Amazon's like it's like a necessary evil, especially for artists too. Like even as an author too, like they're very helpful with writing my book stuff. Um, But I just think that like indie art is just so important and so crucial. Everything that's happening in the mainstream that's not based on logarithms is pulled from underground art, and I think like we have to give credit where credit's due. But also, I think we should be hunting out and seeking out like indie stuff. That's where all the magic is. Like we have these big budget movies that look like they cost millions of dollars, and you watch them and it's awful. It looks like crap. It's just like a blur. It's like, and these movies cost millions and millions of dollars. So when these like indie filmmakers have such a limited budget, I'm more fascinated by what people can do with no money to make something look so cool versus like this green screen CGI garbled mess that like you watch these like superhero movies. I can't even tell what's happening on the screen. It just looks like a blur. It's not pretty. It's not artistic. It's just yeah, I don't know. There's movies right now happening on underground that look absolutely stunning and fantastic, and they have a budget of like $20,000. And it's like they're making this awesome stuff. Like I think that's like way more interesting.
Totally. Good point, Brandon. And I think, I live in London, and London is such a city where you can find everything, like big theaters, big classics, big plays. But what I like a lot as well, I was talking to a friend the other day about it. Sometimes I like to go to those low budgets, like plays, you know what I mean? When you can see, even the theater, they're so small, it's such you feel the passion about it, the art
Yeah,
express themselves, you feel closer to them. There's a beauty behind. Of course, don't take me wrong. As you said, those big event, big budget things, they're amazing. Some of them, and you enjoy, appreciate that. However, if you look it up as well, like in low budget projects, you can find so many beautiful artists expressing, their arts through painting or through art or through singing or through acting. There are so many things that you can see around, and I think sometimes we need to somehow put ourselves in this mindset of exploring a little bit more about the arts, because there are so many beautiful artists around there. You know what I mean?
well, like you said too, like going through these smaller playhouses, like these like these people actually have to like work their asses off, and that passion is there. So I feel like a lot of
Totally.
these modern actors are they're all nepo babies, and they don't have to work as hard. They're guaranteed to get these like these roles, these gigs. So like when you said like you're going to these like smaller like playhouses,
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
acting their asses off. Like they have to work for this, and it's like I think you said
totally.
that passion is like almost tangible, and it's way more fun to watch, and it's way more engaging. And I don't know, I think we're losing that too in the mainstream.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a good point. I'm glad you mentioned that, because sometimes it's just we are trapped in the mindset of whatever is it's there.
Yeah.
Sometimes, as you are talking about, it's good because some people go like, "Oh, interesting. I'm gonna check it out now." After that, so I think it's always good to talk and express, as you put in your profile there. That's what got my attention. I was like, okay, I want to talk to him about that, which is amazing. That's great.
No,
Cool.
I agree.
Next question is, which bad habits you wish you could stop?
Oh man, this is quite a few. Um, I hate sleeping a lot, and like I think I at my age I need to get more sleep. So I think just my I need to like get into a better sleep routine because I hate sleeping. I write, I do a lot of art, so it's like I just want to stay up as long as I can and just work and work. But it's also taking a toll on me. I'm 43 now. I can't be doing this anymore. I still
Yeah,
exercise and eat healthy, but like that, so the sleep is such a huge portion that you really need to keep up with. And I suck at it. I'm terrible.
yes, I believe when you are very creative, sometimes you just want to do it. You don't want to, like lose time, sleep, or do anything. You just want to get things done. I
Oh, it's
understand.
true.
Last question, ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Last question. But before the last question, I'm going to ask a question in two parts.
Yeah.
The first part of the question is, through your career as a nurse, tell me a moment or a situation that you're never going to forget, that for one reason or another, you're always going to remember. And the other part of the question is, being a singer, an artist, an actor, all, everything that you've done through as a writer as well, everything that you've done so far as an artist. Tell me a moment or a situation as well that for you hold very close to your heart.
Yeah. So in the nursing world, trying the best story that it's not as glamorous as I'd like it to be, but I think like I work in mental health, and my specialty is I like working with teenagers. I feel like that age range is kind of your last ditch moment. So like if you can implement any kind of change, it's in that age range. Like once they get into like late teens and the 20s, they're who they are is who they are. But I still think there's a little wiggle room, and I've worked with like a lot of like queer kids that like are suicidal and just like kind of like went through similar stuff that I went through, and I've had a lot of moments, or like, oh, like a few moments with these kids where like it's like letting them know like it's gonna be okay. Like shit is terrible right now. Things suck. But like I promise you, like get through all this, get through high school, get through your teen years, then start choosing your own family. I've had some moments with kids like that where like I don't know where they are now. I hope they're doing okay, but it seemed like some genuine connections happen, and I'm hoping they're doing really well. I hope they're thriving. But those moments are really nice. Like it's it's hard to see, it's hard to watch. Sometimes the parents come in, the parents are awful, and you know that kid once they go home is just gonna like be in a living hell. But like if they can find solace and comfort like in these facilities like where we work, it's like it is nice. And I hope I hate that anyone has to even go through any of this. Like it just sucks. In like so in the movie and like acting writing world, kind of like a similar thing. So like we made this movie called Death Drop Gorgeous. It's like a super campy John Waters style. It's like trashy. We thought it would just end up on YouTube forever, like be a YouTube classic, and then it ended up getting legs, and like Shudder picked it up. So like this movie went way further than we ever thought it would have. um but we have a lot of fans that will like talk about like how they're inspired by it because like they're afraid to like make their art, or they're afraid to like do these things. They're like, I feel like it'd be stupid or no one's gonna like it. And our movie is stupid and it's fun and like I love it. But I think it just shows that like life is not that serious, and like it's really cool when people come forward and say like our movie inspired them to like finish their screenplay, to pick up a camera and make a movie, or that they like saw themselves in the characters and had a really good time with it. So the fact that like we're connecting with like queer horror fans on that level is really cool too. And not like I didn't know that was gonna happen, and when it started happening, it was really like it was touching. It was awesome. Like and so like, it became more than just like yeah we make funny, stupid, gory horror movies with drag queens, but now it's to a point where it's like yeah we're actually like doing something bigger than that, which is kind of cool.
I see. Okay. Last question is, what does happiness mean to you?
I think happiness is just, to me, it would just be like just absolute freedom from everything and just listening to your heart, and like just you know what makes you happy. And if as long as you're not hurting animals, kids, or other people, find out what you're into and just do it. Like just go for it. I think just having that freedom to find that is what happiness is. And like it's in every single person on this planet. It's just they gotta stop caring what other people think, and just like stop hating, and just start loving more, I guess.
Beautiful. Love it. Okay, so then Jets, let's play now the word association game. I'm going to give away some words, some one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking.
Sure.
Let's start with money.
Oh man. um just one word.
Just one word.
Evil.
Okay. Fear.
um my brain goes like right to horror movies. Let's see. So fear, first word comes to mind, I guess. Maybe. Oh man, I'm sorry, I don't know. That's a good question.
Okay, no right or wrong, whatever comes to your minds.
I guess like, weirdly enough, like I think being scared is kind of fun. Like old school fear, like when you're a kid, like so maybe fun might go with that. Like I miss like going to the old haunted houses when you're a kid and you're actually scared. Because that kind of fear is fun. Like when you're an adult, like that kind of fear turns into like bills and like other stuff. But like I miss like old school genuine fear, like when you're actually scared of movies. So I guess fun.
Love it. Family.
uh, I guess like community.
Okay. Life.
Ooh, I guess nature is the first thing that comes to mind.
Love.
I guess happiness for that one too. It's kind of cliche, but happiness for sure.
Sure. Religion.
Evil. Sorry.
Okay. It's okay. One word for sex.
Oh wow. Happiness.
I can tell by your smile. Politics.
Oh God. Evil. That's another one.
Okay. Friendship.
Wow. Friendship. Yeah, I'd say happiness with that one too. It's crucial.
Okay. Desire.
Fun.
Okay. Regret.
Oof. I guess sadness, depression.
Okay. Success.
Happy. I'd say happiness for that one too.
Wish.
Oh man. I guess I feel like kind of, I guess, exciting.
Okay. One word for happiness.
I guess again, like love would attach that one too. Happiness would be love.
Oh, one word for Connecticut.
Connecticut. Um, I'm probably getting murdered for this one, but I think Connecticut's gorgeous. It's a beautiful state. Everyone hates it, but it's like really like a pretty state. I don't know why it gets so much hate.
One word for Rhode Island.
Crazy. It's a crazy state. I love it
One
though.
one word for USA.
Oh, um, man, I guess sad.
One word for nursing.
Oh, I'd say sad for that one too. It's just going in such a bad direction.
I see.
Yeah.
Acting. One and the last one now. Acting. One word.
Oh, fun. Love acting.
Okay.
Last.
Let's pretend I'm going to meet your boyfriend for a coffee and I'm going to ask him, what's the most beautiful thing about Brandon? What do you think he would say?
I'd probably say my creativity.
And what's something that he still needs to improve on, to work on? What he would say?
Oh, that I need to work on? Oh my God. I guess ooh, there's a lot there. Probably like I'm a very emotional and reactive person. I think sometimes I like invest too much into people and then I get hurt easily. But like again, it's something that I do all the time. So I need to learn my own lesson. So I think just like being more, I guess being more protective of myself and the empathy that I give people because like I said earlier, it gets me into trouble. So yeah, I definitely need to work on that stuff.
Do you feel like some work in progress? Do you feel like you are working on it?
I it's been a work in progress for a long time, but I'm not making much much progress. I keep finding myself in the same situations and getting trapped and with this. And I think like one of my best friends, Katrina, had mentioned too, just like she's similar to me. Like when we make friends with people, like we give them everything, and that's dangerous. And it's like that's not a healthy thing. It might feel nice. It feels like you're supposed to do, but at the end of the day, like humans are very complicated, and when you give too much yourself, it can put you in weird situations. Sometimes it's successful and you make some of your best friends that way, but sometimes it can really hurt you.
Absolutely. And what's your star sign astrology, Brandon?
I'm an Aquarius like to a T.
Right. I see. Let's play now, Brandon, in the magic box, and you can ask me a question. Okay, you can ask me a question now.
Sure, sure. So in all your time doing these interviews and stuff, what has been like? I've probably asked this before, but like, what's been like kind of the your biggest takeaway from doing all this, like from meeting all these like interesting people, like um, it's cool that you do this. It's fascinating. So I'm just curious, like, what your takeaway from all of it is.
Love it. Thanks so much. Thanks for the question. I think it's amazing. I love the question because I think the takeaway I take from all those interviews, Brandon, I had here, my God, over 1,000 people around the
Yeah,
globe, people with different backgrounds, different point of views, different opinions, different way of approaching life. And this is very fascinating to see how people, they see life in different ways. But I think all of us, all of them, I realized that um, we are trying to be a better person. We are trying to get to a place where we can improve ourselves. It doesn't matter how you see life. It doesn't matter how you approach life. One of the biggest takeaway is about how people can be so interesting. How people can, even though you might disagree with something that the other person agree, but at the end of the day, we are in the same boat. People, they are trying to become a better person every day. We are work on ourselves like every day. That's what I realized through those interviews. And also, I think what the show has taught. Imagine talking to every interview I do, I learn something new. Trust me, every interview. For example, sometimes I don't see when I'm doing the interview because I'm here having the best of my time. Sometimes I get so excited that you don't
yeah,
see the message. But when I'm editing, that's where I see the interview in a different way. I'm more calm. I'm not like full of euphoric because I'm so energetic here. And when I see, I said, "Oh my God, that's interesting." So that's how I learn. For example, the first time I being polyamorous, yeah, it was a word that I never heard before. And I was doing an interview with a lovely man from the US in the very beginning when I started doing the show. And he said, "Oh, last week I was with my husband in Asia. We were traveling, and next week I'm gonna meet my boyfriend in another state." And my face, I was a bit confused because it's like, what do you mean? And I thought maybe I didn't understand what he said. I was a bit confused. And he could tell by my face. And he said, because I'm in a polyamorous relationship. And I was like, what is polyamorous? I mean, of course, I knew that people, they can, have different relationships. People, it's an open umbrella. People, they can, express themselves through relationship in different ways. However, I never heard the word polyamorous and the way he explained. So that's just a small example of so many topics that I had here on the show. So back to your question, I think it's a platform where I learn a lot. People who do the interview or when they participate on the show, they learn or they take something as well. When they watch the interview, when they see the clips on my social media as well, there's always something about it. And I think that's the biggest takeaway here. It's about people, how people they're so interesting, how people they're so fascinating, and sometimes just listen to people around the globe. That's when you understand that, you know what I mean? That's when you feel like, my God, how people they are so fascinating. We are trying to become a better person, and that's a positive thing for sure. So yeah, that's the biggest takeaway for me through the interviews for sure.
Have you ever thought about like writing a book or like compile doing like a
Oh my
documentary?
God.
Like, yeah,
Absolutely, absolutely. If you wanna work on a project with me, you are welcome.
yeah, yeah. No, I think like it's just so interesting. You interviewed, like you said, thousands of people. I'd love to, like, if you compiled something into like a book or a documentary, it'd be really fascinating too.
Absolutely, Brando. I have so many projects like connect with the magic box. You have no idea, you know what I mean? I want to do
Yeah,
one day. I'd like to work in different projects regarding that because I have material for different for 100 seasons. You know what I mean? Like in the show because there's so many interviews that I've done. Like I would like to one day as well to go around the world and do like a face to face talk about different topics that was discussed in the interview. So there's so many topics, so many things that's being explored. So trust me, I have material for years of shows for sure after
that's
so many
awesome.
interviews. So yeah, I think I can wait for one day to explore more. I just would like to have people, ambitious people, like to join me and go, you know what, let's do that, let's do this, let's, you know what I mean? Because I
Yeah,
think when you have people passionate, people like you, passionate about something, you know what I mean? It cannot go wrong. It cannot go wrong because there's so many ways that you can explore different projects. You know what I mean? And I
yeah,
have so many projects in my mind. Have no idea, Brandon. If you say about sleeping,
yeah,
sometimes I wish my day was like 30 hours instead of 24, because there are so many things that I'd like to explore. So yeah, it's open. Okay, if one day you feel like doing something even
yeah.
bigger, let me know.
Oh, for sure. And also, if you're ever in Rhode Island, you have a place to stay, so come visit.
Oh, sweet, sweet. I think I can wait one day to travel around the world and meet him, all my guests, and have
Yeah.
the time of my life. Imagine.
Oh,
And
that'd be
do
awesome.
a documentary about that. Imagine traveling around and talking to, oh my God, you see, you're giving even more ideas to me. So it's crazy. It's crazy. When you do something with passion, trust me, it can go so many directions. It's amazing. I love passionate people. I love ambitious people. I love
Yeah,
when people they love doing things. I think it's very fascinating for sure. Amazing.
I love
Great
that.
question. Great question. Did you enjoy the interview?
Oh yeah, this is awesome. I loved it.
Thanks again. Thanks for taking the time for the interview. Thanks for being so open and so kind as well. And before you go, if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
Yeah, just when you wake up in the morning, focus on love and happiness. That's everyone needs to do it. And then also, you gotta love the animals. You gotta respect the animals.
Absolutely. It's the main, I think it's the main thing. Animals, they are here for a reason. They are here to teach us. They are here to, to show us that life can be, you know, more even more beautiful because they help us a lot daily. They sometimes even don't understand, but they are always around us. It's great. For example, another fun fact: when I saw your cat behind you in the beginning of the interview, I think they feel the energy. You know what I mean? For example, I had so many interviews when suddenly their dogs, their cats just jump around, and I love that because they feel the energy around. You know what I mean? And it's just
Yeah,
amazing. I was doing the interview with a lovely man in England, and he was talking about a very, let's say, I wouldn't say a sad situation in his life, but was something very, thoughtful. He was very emotions, and suddenly his dog literally walked behind his back
Oh,
and lied down behind him, like in the sofa. Can you imagine? Literally around the time when he was talking about something so powerful, so fragile about the situation. It's amazing. I was like, oh my God. And he even got emotional. He was like, wow, that's amazing. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. Amazing. Keep in touch. It was a pleasure having you on the show, okay?
Oh, back at you too. Thank you.
Take care. Enjoy your day. Bye bye.
Have a good day.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why would you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye. See you next time.